Hi, I am a self-taught pet portrait artist who runs her own custom pet portrait business, and I want to teach you guys how I choose the colors in my artwork. Number one, I use a butcher's tray to mix my colors. I don't use the separate color palettes and get too technical about my colors and the names. I let the colors bleed on this big butcher's tray and let these colors that appear inspire me. I use a reference photo in my pet portrait work, and in the shadows, I focus on cool colors, and in the brighter parts, I might focus on warmer colors. Number three, I think about saturation. So in the more intense colors, I use deeper saturation all around the color wheel, and in the more white or beige or lighter colors, I'll use any colors on the color wheel, but in a more transparent or mixed with white tones. I make my reference image digital. Oh, this is number 4. And I turn up the saturation, see what colors appear, and use those as inspiration. Number 5, if I want something to pop more, I'll look at the majority of the colors on my painting I already have and use the opposite or like the complementary color to sort of help that pop out more. So for example, if there's a lot of blue in my painting, I might do splatters or my circular orbs that I use a lot in a very opposite or complementary color. Number 6, this may be obvious, but sometimes I use things from the context of my reference photo. If the dog has a bandana that's a certain color, I can tell if it's pink, or if the dog or cat is really girly or feminine, I'll use colors stereotypically that fall in those directions. I just recently did a dog who wore a Cubs collar, and I used a lot of blue and red, the Chicago Cubs colors. I think this is number 7. Also just experimentation, noticing colors that are around me, getting books that inspire color palettes and looking up different color palettes online. I also look up floral arrangements to get color inspo ideas. I have this book called The Secret Lives of Color. This is a book called Pantone. And then another book about color harmony that is really interesting. It gives you a bunch of different color palettes and like the psychology of color that can inspire a lot of things. I have this big bucket of watercolors. I don't use the whole thing. I go through it using the reference photo and all these things that I just listed and pick colors that I think will fit, fill my butcher's tray with those, let it blend, let it mix, and see what inspires. So I pare it down, basically. And lastly, you just experiment. See how different colors affect the painting that you're making. And remember and take note, a lot of the videos, like I said, I make time lapses of all my artwork. And I go back and watch them because they teach me a lot. Because I'm not in the same state of mind when I'm painting as in when I'm watching a time-lapse video of my painting. I can sort of sit back and look as a viewer and decide how I like it. That's all.